Hey y'all, I'm Drake and this is Drake Makes Art. So I just got back from a trip around the Mediterranean. It was a lot of fun, it was very relaxing, I got to see lots of cool sights. I got to see my favorite painting of all time, which is Raphael's The School at Athens. Here's a picture of me freaking out in front of it because it's amazing and huge and glorious. But while I was on the trip, I kind of gave myself a challenge to draw 2 sketches a day. And since I was going to be touring and traveling and taking in all the sights, I only gave myself like 5 to 10 minutes tops on each sketch. I couldn't get super detailed. I couldn't capture a lot of the like finer points of what I was observing. But the point of this exercise was to train myself to draw what I see and really get the bones of the images down as quickly as possible. Some of my sketches turned out all right. They weren't great. They weren't horrible. Some of them turned out really badly, and some of them I'm actually pretty proud of. Like they're pretty good to have only been scribbled out in about 5 minutes. And so what I want to do for today's video is I want to take one of these sketches and I want to like touch it up, turn it into a proper art piece. I want to spend a little bit more than 5 minutes on it, maybe add some watercolor to it when I finish out the main sketching. It's been a minute since I've done like a proper watercolor piece on this channel, and I think it's time to get back into it. So let's get started. So at first I was going to redo this image, which is a sketch of the Fontana di Nettuno in Rome. I considered this one of my okay sketches. It's not great, but considering I only had a few minutes and nothing to really brace my drawing pad on, I thought it turned out pretty well. However, when I sat down to do this new sketch, I quickly remembered that I have very little experience drawing people. I mean, I can do stick figures and doodles, and I even took a foray into comics a few years ago, but realistic human figures are not my forte. So I decided to change tacks and instead recreate this seascape. I remember sketching this out one evening around sunset, and I remember thinking how challenging it was to sketch the scene with only one color. I mean, this is a sunset scene, so the sky was lit up with red and green and purple, and the water was reflecting all those colors back at the sky. It was absolutely gorgeous, and I only had a gray pencil to capture it. It was a good challenge in the moment, though, because it forced me to think about tools other than color. I mean, I love color, and it's my favorite tool in the artist's toolbox, but I couldn't use it for this sketch, so I had to focus on other tools, like value, which has to do with how bright or dark an area of an image is. In recreating this scene, I decided to crop the original sketch down so that the horizon line was higher up, closer to the top of the image. For the color of the ocean, I used a mixture of Prussian blue and cerulean hue, with just a touch of sap green. I decided to paint the water using long lateral strokes to mimic the waves. After the water, I moved on to the sky, the clouds, then finally the sun and the sunlight reflecting off the water. Overall, I really enjoyed getting back into watercolor after so long away from it, and I think this was a fun project I'll try again next time I travel. And here is the final result. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you feel like I've earned it, I'd really appreciate it if you would give it a like and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time when we make something new. Bye!